Hey guys, my name is JT Palmer, FLW Touring Pro. Just got my boat wrapped here at Creative Edge Design in Alta Vista, Virginia. I'd say they're a first-class business, pleasure to deal with, and a great looking wrap. And if you're looking for somebody to do a wrap, I'd recommend calling them at 434-384-0628. Thanks guys.
Hi everyone, this is Kevin Hawk with thebasscast.com, and this week I want to share with you some tips about flipping a heavy jig in the grass. I personally like the 4x4 1.5-ounce grass flipping jig. You know what makes this jig so good? It's got a super stout 5/0 heavy wire mustad hook, and the angle of the line of the weed guard barely covers the hook point, yet keeps your bait clean from the grass, which is what you want. It's also got a recessed line tie at the head of the eye, which also keeps, your bait free from snagging up in the grass, depending if you're flipping milfoil, coontail, or whatever it may be. You can use your favorite trailer. I prefer the Yamamoto Flapping Hog. It's got a lot of appendages on it, and it gives off a lot of good vibration as it goes down into the water. Now, it's important to throw a heavy flipping jig, especially an ounce or an 1.5 ounces on the right equipment. I personally use the iRod 754 Heavy Action Air Series. I mean, this thing's a beast. It'll handle an ounce, 1.5 ounces, no problem. You also want a high-speed reel. I like the Abu Garcia SX 7-to-1 gear ratio reel. You need a reel that's going to take up the line really quick. You also want some good braided line. I like 50 or 65-pound Berkeley Spiderwire Ultracast. And what you can do with this jig, I've fished a lot of tournaments recently up north, Champlain, the Potomac, where this presentation just works great. I mean, obviously what you want to do is just look for areas with grass. If you can find areas with grass that kind of lays over, whether it be a few inches or even a foot, I've noticed that's the grass you want to key in on. For some reason, as opposed to grass that maybe just barely tops out near the surface, it seems like the grass that lays over just forms a little bit of a canopy, and this fish really are attracted to that. It might provide them a little bit more shade, and just might make them feel a little bit more comfortable. So when you're targeting grass, if you can find topped out where it's laid over a little bit, that's the best grass that I've found. And basically what you're doing is, when you're going down a grass patch, you're treating it just like you would a shoreline. A lot of times, any little indentation or any little point in that grass is the areas that you want to key on, and that's where you're going to get your bites. Another good tip is sometimes, you'll have your main grass patch, but then there'll be just maybe little small pods of grass on the outside of that main thick grass line. And a lot of times too, that's where those bigger fish are going to be. That's going to be in a little bit deeper water where there just might be a few inches or even a foot. And a lot of times those fish will kind of relate to that stuff, because if a lot of guys are up shallow fishing the thicker stuff, they might pull out and feel just, be a little bit more comfortable where they're a little bit less pressured. So if you can key in on those areas sometimes, it can pay big dividends. I hope these tips help you catch more fish on the heavy flipping jig. We'll see you next week on thebasscast.com.